Hi everyone, today we are at Laurel Hills State Park and this morning we are getting ready to go visit the Jones Scott Singo Cemetery. Sorry, I couldn't remember that off the top of my head. Anyhow, we thought that might be an interesting thing to take a look at first thing this morning. This park, along with many other national and state parks, has some of the CCC relics and buildings and so forth. And when we run across those, we're going to share those with you because there's some pretty cool pieces. There's a statue at the beginning and entrance of the park that we'll share with you as well. But anyhow, we are getting ready to go check out the cemetery. We wanted to take you along with us. They restored this cemetery back in 2000. From what I understand, this was like mid-1800s. And prior to that, these families were buried here and members of the family. It was originally owned by the Singo family, which is why that name is included here. The land was, and I think possibly was eventually bought by the Scott Jones families. Anyhow, from what I understand, they were very poor farm families, and that's one of the reasons that you don't see like an engraved tombstone in some of the area or some of the burial sites, because they couldn't afford them. But from what I understand, there was some vandalism and some of the original tombstones were stolen or damaged, so they have tried to restore some of them, and they have replaced them with new ones to mark the grave sites of the family members here. So this is the original tombstone of George Scott. They've replaced his tombstone up there, and this is how they're trying to keep it restored, because from what I understand, a lot of the tombstones here were vandalized or stolen. So they do have this encased now and restored, and they've replaced it up there in the corner of the cemetery. Anyhow, the cemetery is surrounded by beautiful trees, beautiful woods, and it's a nice, peaceful place to be. There's Fran. And an easy access road and a little parking area if you'd like to come out and visit it. Anyhow, this is one of the billboards, wooden boards, that talks about or commemorates the site of this particular CCC camp. And it was here from 1935 to 1942. This is one of the cabins. There's several of these cabins in the group tent site area. I think this is a church group that's in here right now, so we're trying not to disturb them. But this is one of the cabins built by the CCC. You can see the wonderful stone fireplace in it. Pretty cool. This statue is a commemorative statue they built in honor of the Civilian Conservation Corps, the CCC, which I think is pretty cool. It was dedicated here July 2007. And you can read right there what the plaque says. As many of you probably already know, the CCC hard work of these gentlemen in our national and state parks can be found all over the country. Yeah, he's a pretty big guy. And this was erected with sincere gratitude to all who served in the CCC. These guys worked pretty hard through some difficult terrains.
Morning.
To erect some really cool
Good, how are you?
pieces of our national history in our national and state parks. You can read right here is a marquee that talks about it. It gave a purpose to these men during the Great Depression and also paid them and helped to get this country back on its feet. And right here is another marquee that shows the CC camps in the state of Pennsylvania. They were all over the place. We always enjoy seeing the remnants, the buildings that they built, and all of their hard work. And here at Laurel Hills State Park, they have the natural wildflower meadows. It's very early in the morning, but I am sure that there's all kinds of activity out here once the sun comes out. Bees, butterflies, and so forth. And it's pretty big. They've done a pretty good job of this. It's a big meadow. We are at one of the main entrances into the Laurel Hills State Park, the other side of the park. And there's a lot of information here on the CCC, so we're going to walk over and take a look and see what this all has to say. And this marquee talks about the CCC, the Civilian Conservation Corps, and what the goal and purpose of it was. And these men during the Great Depression were able to earn an income and help restore the stripped lands of the, especially around this area. And they did a lot of tree planting and construction of dams and so forth. And there's a lot of what they contributed to the national and state parks and the forests in this area to restore it. But these are pretty cool. Provided an income for these people and a purpose in life, and look at the results. I think the results speak for themselves in all of our state and national parks. So thanks to all these gentlemen for all of your hardships and your hard work. So thanks everybody for joining us today as we wandered out yonder here at Laurel Hills State Park. Talking about the Civilian Conservation Corps and what their contributions were to this particular state park. And again, you will see their contributions all over this nation, in the state of Pennsylvania, in the state and national parks all over the place. So we are always interested in seeing seeing the hard work of these men and what they contributed to this nation. So anyhow, thanks for joining us. We hope to see you again. Bye.